We're reading every Spider-Man ever, and this is Thor issue 148. In previous issues that don't involve Spider-Man, Odin has banned his subjects from visiting Earth. And when he finds Thor, Loki, Lady Sif, and Balder there, as Thor and Loki fight each other, Odin zaps them and removes their powers. They are powerless. Despite this, Thor still wants to keep fighting, but Loki understands that he is absolutely not Thor's equal in strength, and so he flees instead. Thor doesn't chase him because of honor. Meanwhile and elsewhere, the homes of rich people are being robbed by a man called the Wrecker, who is tying up butlers and ransacking the jewelry. One policeman calls him a menace, and another is thankful that he's just an ordinary man and not superpowered at all, because imagine how disastrous that would be if he had superpowers, which seems like an overly specific and definitely foreboding thing to say. Meanwhile, the Wrecker looks for a new victim. That victim, it turns out, is Loki, who is using magic to call on Enchantress, asking her to give him power once more so that he can defeat Thor. But the Wrecker doesn't know any of that, and he hits Loki over the head with a crowbar and steals his hat, just in time for the Enchantress to appear. She confuses the Wrecker for Loki and grants him godlike powers. When Loki comes to, the Wrecker learns just how powerful he is when he zaps Loki and teleports him far away. With this kind of power, the world is his. Elsewhere, Thor, Sif, and Balder are taking in a mortal life by watching the news. Some kind of story about Spider-Man, probably calling him a menace. Suddenly, the news is interrupted by more news. Breaking news. The Wrecker is literally breaking the city. Our three heroes race to the rescue. They find the Wrecker knocking down a building and they confront him. With his new magic, the Wrecker vanishes Sif and Balder, sending them far away, and goes crowbar to hammer with Thor. They spatang and they fatam and they before the Wrecker is able to get the upper hand, slam Thor down into the rubble and wraps him up into a chokehold. Our hero is losing. Elsewhere, we learn that the Wrecker has been sending people to Asgard. Sif and Balder rush to Odin to inform him of the danger that Thor is in, requesting aid, but Odin silences and dismisses them both. His son hath erred, and must pay his penance. Thanks for watching this recap. There are new videos every Thursday, so subscribe if you want to catch those, and hit the bell if you want YouTube to tell you about them. Like the video if you want other people to see it, and click on the Patreon link if you want to support me in some way and see these videos early. But while we wait for the next issue and the next video, here's a fun fact about this one. We're not going to revisit this Thor storyline, but you should know that Thor obviously survives. This issue also features a backup story featuring Black Bolt from the Inhumans as a baby, and how his first temper tantrum destroyed the city.